What if your own brainwaves could give you your voice back? Or what if the key to diagnosing a silent killer was already hiding inside a routine scan you've already had? Well, today we're going to dive into the AI breakthroughs that are just completely rewriting the rules of what's possible in medicine. We're talking about stuff that's transforming how we live, how we heal, and even how we communicate.
So let's start with a really powerful question. Just try to imagine losing the ability to speak because of a condition like ALS. Could a machine, could AI, really restore that fundamental part of who you are? The answer is a huge, resounding yes. And what's so incredible is that this technology doesn't just create some robotic voice. No, it restores your personality, your expression, your identity. And how do we know? We know because it can even replicate a person's ability to sing. So, that brings us to our first story. And it's a truly mind-blowing development that gets right to the very heart of what it means to be human. Researchers at UC Davis have developed this groundbreaking brain-computer interface, or BCI. Now, this isn't just about translating thoughts into text on a screen. This system decodes the brain's neural signals and turns them into a personalized synthetic voice. And like we just saw, it can even sing. This is about restoring not just the ability to talk, but the person behind the words. So how does it work? Well, the magic is in this tiny, delicate film of 256 microscopic electrodes. They sit right on the surface of the brain, and they're basically listening to this whole neural orchestra that controls speech. It's like a high-speed translator between what a person wants to say and the outside world. And the speed, it is just staggering. The AI decodes that brain activity and turns it into speech in just 10 milliseconds. I mean, that is fast enough for a totally natural conversational flow that, honestly, until right now, felt like something straight out of science fiction. But this kind of revolution, it's not just happening in these huge university labs. It's also being powered by the absolutely brilliant minds of the next generation. Okay, get ready for this. The researcher we're about to meet, who is making massive waves in complex brain cancer research, is just 13 years old. 13. Her name is Myrene Asan, and at an age when most of us were trying to figure out algebra, she's using AI to take on glioblastoma, one of the deadliest brain cancers there is. She's already a robotics champion, she's presented her work at a major AI symposium, and get this, she's even launching a nonprofit to inspire other students. She is, quite literally, the future. Okay, so AI isn't just creating new ways for us to communicate or inspiring young geniuses. It's also working behind the scenes, kind of like a tireless, incredibly sharp-eyed assistant for doctors, catching things that the human eye just might miss. Just think about these two powerful examples. On one hand, you've got an AI that analyzes routine breast MRIs to spot thoracic aortic aneurysms, a total silent killer that's often missed because it has no symptoms. And on the other, an open-source model that looks at chest x-rays for rare lung diseases, making expert-level diagnosis accessible to hospitals literally everywhere. And listen, the impact here is just staggering. That aneurysm detection tool, it's not just a little better, it is 3.5 times more effective than a human reading. We're not talking about a small improvement here. That is a massive leap forward that is absolutely going to save lives. And this is exactly why these tools are such a game changer. They find these deadly conditions using data that's already there. No extra appointments, no extra cost for the patient. They're designed to be scalable and affordable, and because they're open source, they can be used even in hospitals without huge budgets. This is really about making life-saving tech smarter and, maybe most importantly, more equitable for everyone. So we've seen the applications, right? But what about the research itself? Let's take a little peek inside the AI engine room to see how the actual process of scientific discovery is being turbocharged. It all starts with this idea called DeSci, or decentralized science. The core idea is pretty simple. Break down the old-school silos in research. Use technology to create a more open, transparent, and just plain efficient way for scientists to work together. And platforms like healthsci.ai are making this a reality. So instead of researchers working all by themselves, just imagine AI agents collaborating in real time, automating all the tedious, boring stuff. This lets public and private teams from all over the world work together like they're in the same room. It's really about removing all the friction from discovery so we can get to cures way, way faster. The thing is, all of this is happening right now. But these breakthroughs also completely change our idea of what's possible tomorrow. So let's shift gears a little bit and look at how these ideas might actually start to show up in our daily lives. When we start dreaming about the future of personal health tech, where do our minds go? To get a sense of what people are most excited about, we took a look at a recent poll, and the winner was something called NeuroBud. Now, this is a concept for an AI ear implant that can literally read your brainwaves. It could prompt you to meditate when you're stressed out, and even give you a little hum when you need to drink more water. It's basically the ultimate personalized wellness coach, living right there in your ear. All right, so now it's your turn. Sticking with this idea of wearable tech, let's think about the ground beneath our feet. Imagine it's 2030, and your shoes are one of your main health monitors. What would you actually want them to do for you? Would you want a shoe that acts like a physical therapist, tracking your gait and posture with something like VitalStep? Or maybe one that's a 24/7 wellness monitor, checking your blood oxygen with HealthSoul? Or how about FitStride to screen your foot health and prevent injuries? Or SmartWalk, just constantly scanning your vitals? The possibilities are really fascinating to think about. And, whether we're talking about AI-powered shoes or brain-reading earbuds, the big takeaway here is that these concepts are moving from the pages of science fiction and into our real-world labs at a totally astonishing pace. Which leaves us with one final, fascinating thought to chew on. Looking at everything we've seen today, from restoring a person's voice to diagnosing silent killers to accelerating research, the real question isn't what AI will change about our health. The real question is, what part of it won't?